KUGAN CASSIUS IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast with the Matchroom Gym, joined by the Spider and the Rabbit.
Peter Rabbit.
Peter Rabbit.
As long as it ain't Jessica Rabbit.
Do you remember her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm Hoskins, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
We're phone Roger Rabbit.
Oh, we're showing our age now, Pete.
Yeah,
Cheers. Yeah, a bit of sparring there.
Yeah, good sparring.
Today with obviously John Ryder, who's got his fight coming up in a couple of weeks' time. So,
Danny Jacobs.
yeah. How did it all go?
Went well, you know, it's been obviously, you know, even when I'm not in camp, still training as always, sparring, keeping myself in good shape. But yeah, it was good rounds today, just working on a few things and yeah, got the rounds out again.
Pete, looking good. Obviously, he's preparing for a potential fight coming up whenever, we don't know yet, but we'll talk about that in a second. But getting some good rounds in with John Ryder.
Yeah, he's got 4 good rounds in with John. He done 8 with John, done 8 with Anthony Fowler. Then Spider jumped in for the last 4. He sparred with Johnny Fisher, the heavyweight, the Montfort Ball on Monday. How many rounds did you get then?
8 with Johnny.
He done 8 with Johnny Fisher, the big heavyweight. You know, he's been out in America. He went out for America for a while. He was down in the gyms out there, sparring with some Cubans out there, getting a bit of experience. But I said to him just now after the spar, you know, after every fight, I can see the growth in him, which is good.
Now, let's come on to you. Internet Whispers.
Yes.
I like to call this part of the interview, Internet Whispers. Talks, I mean, listen, I don't know how much you can tell us or not, but rumours are there are talks between a potential fight between you and Joshua Buatsi. Pete, I'll come to you first with this. Is that accurate?
Yes, that's accurate. Yeah, there has been talks with Joshua Buatsi. Obviously, the talks between Spider and Joshua Buatsi have been going on for quite a while. They're going to have to meet at some point in their careers, maybe or maybe not. We originally, after the Dimitri Bivol fight, we spoke to Eddie and we said we wanted like a 3 fight thing, so we wanted 2 fights, and then we wanted the Buatsi fight. He fought Merrick Mateo for the WBA National, stopped him in 6 rounds, and then we asked for the Dominic Bozell IBO World Champion negotiations to be put back in force, because we was in negotiations with him for the world title before COVID. He went and fought Krasniqi, got beat. He's since had another rematch with Krasniqi and won. So that was our first priority, to do Merrick Mateo, Dominic Bozell, and then possibly look at the Joshua Buatsi fight. The Bozell fight has been sort of like pushed to the side, and we've gone into negotiations with Matchroom for the Joshua Buatsi fight. Eddie, I see Eddie done an interview the other day. He said he made Anthony Yard a massive offer. He's made Craig Richards an offer, which is, I think, a bit despairing between the two. We've looked at it and spoke about it to where we are at the minute, and because he's not a champion between Spider and Buatsi, there's no 60-40 split, there's no 70-40 split. We've looked at it really that the only possible way we will go in a fight is if it's a 50-50 split, we get exactly the same purses. It's alright saying he made us an offer, well, you can make me an offer for my car. It don't mean I've got to accept it. So I've come back with a counter offer, and where I'm at now is that I think perhaps you should go to an internet public poll, I don't know, that it should be a 50-50 split on the purse, that we should be very transparent about it, and he gets exactly what Buatsi's getting. And believe me when I say this, as much respect as I've got Joshua Buatsi, if he gets in the ring with him, he will give him an absolute boxing lesson.
Is that what you've told, like the message from your side, what you've told Eddie Hearn, that you're...
I said that exactly right from the beginning, that we want a 50-50 split. They come back with an offer. I said no, I'm not. They come back with another offer. I said no, and there we are now. Game changed. Now we want, you know, if that Buatsi fight is to go ahead, I want an equal split. I want Spider Richards and Buatsi to get exactly the same purse, be a transparent purse, and they fight for exactly the same amount of money, and then we will take the fight under no pretense, under no hidden circumstance. We will take that fight, and he will give Joshua Buatsi a boxing lesson. Believe me.
I'll come on to you. Obviously, a lot of this stuff, even though it's relevant to you, I suppose you let your team, Peter, etc., deal with this side of it.
Yeah.
But is that what you believe, if you were to fight Buatsi, you believe that a 50-50 split is fair on your side and reflects kind of both sides?
To be fair, look, at the end of the day, as you said, we had a fight deal. obviously we done our first one. Second one, there was obviously 2 names in the hat, and third, he was a possible name for the third fight. Obviously, we're on to the second fight at the moment. There's now talks of us pushing on to obviously the Buatsi fight. Now, for us, obviously, there's no title, there's no other incentive apart from for money. So obviously, the next fight we was looking at was a title fight. So we're not going to get the title fights that we want, and they want to push us to the domestic fight. You know me, I'm happy whoever Pete says to fight, I fight. So if that's not going to happen in terms of there's no title and we're not going to get we're going to get that fight, it has to be money incentive. Which the reason why obviously the fight is being presented this time, because it's a big draw, it's a big fight, it's 2 big domestic names, which means there's going to be money on the table. Which if that's the case, we're happy to dive in, take half the money for that, and do what we got to do.
Obviously, that's what you want. On your side, is there room for a negotiation on that 50-50 that you want? Is that a possibility? If it went slightly in Buatsi's favour, but only slightly, is that something you'd consider?
Listen, everything considering, but at the end of the day, it's like we've said, you know, there's no champion here. This is just fighting for bragging rights and money. This is like the Liam Smith and the Anthony Fowler fight. This is just a domestic fight. There's nothing else that, you know, there's nothing there. They're both a big draw. They're both from Croydon. They're both from that sort of area. You know, they're both lovely, lovely people. Joshua Buatsi is a nice man. He's very humble. He's very respectful. And as I said before, you know, I don't mention disrespect him in any way, but this fight for me is a 50-50 split fight on the person. I can't really see how it would be negotiated. Maybe they say, well, Buatsi's a bigger draw than him. What's Buatsi done? Joshua's not fought Dimitri Bivol. You know, he's got 2 losses on his record. He fought Dimitri Bivol for the WBO champion. Bivol was supposed to be the top 5 pound for pound in the world, and he fought Buglioni at 5 days' notice, jumped from super middle to light heavyweight for the British title. That's his 2 losses. You know, Buatsi hasn't been offered them. Buatsi hasn't took them fights. Buatsi's not been in them fights. Matchroom have not presented him in the fights because he's been wrapped in a little bit of cotton wool. And now it's time. Is he what he says he is? And this is not a reflection of Joshua Buatsi. This is just my own opinion. And it's like I said, I'll go back to your question. This fight, in my opinion, is a 50-50 split, completely transparent.
Have you put like a time stamp on this when whatever's going on, regardless? Because you've got to obviously think about if it's not going to be Buatsi, what is next for him. So have you put a time frame when you're going to draw a line under it if it's not going to happen?
Well, to be fair, the way we left it last is that we were trying to see if we can finalise this fight. We was fighting for Dominic Bozil. Yeah. Obviously, of course, then we saw Eddie's interview the other day. I think it was with yourself, and he's mentioned that he had made me an offer and Anthony an offer about the Buatsi fight. That was one of the offers that he said obviously would be a possibility if the Dominic Bozil fight comes. And that's as far as we knew about it until we saw the interview the other day. So obviously now we'll have a catch up with him to find out what's going on with what fight, and that's as far as we know so far at this stage.
Well, we've got a meeting with him. I spoke to Frank Smith. I've got a meeting with him Friday, so more will be revealed.
Okay. Well, I think like you've kind of just given us an update on what the current situation is. I suppose after the weekend, you guys will know more. So maybe kind of pick this up when there is something more to talk about. But I suppose it's good when you're being honest, and obviously we knew or heard that offers had been made, and also to Yard as well. You know, Eddie Hearn was talking about that as well. So I suppose it's just kind of wait till Friday and see what happens after that, and if it's meant to be, it'll happen. Yeah,
because we've heard obviously they've put out a few offers to a few fighters, so we don't know if we're just a possibility or if that fight doesn't happen, then us or whatnot. So it's hard for us to really call anything until we have a sit down and really find out what's going on.
You'll be the first to know, Coog.
Yeah. Come down and I'll come and annoy you guys with the camera as well. I held the bag for like 20 seconds today.
You did.
I felt like I need to make a claim up. The ribs are feeling a little bit fragile.
Was I punching through the bag?
I think so. I think that's what happened.
It's that one-hit quitter.
All right. Well, listen. We'll catch up after the weekend when there's something if there is something to update on this situation. But appreciate your time, Peter Sims, Craig Richards, and I'll let you crack on with the rest of your day.
Thanks, Coog. Grateful. Cheers, mate.